Here, this speech today. My name is Tashana Bethea. I know many of you. I'm the Public Affairs Officer here at the U.S. Embassy. It is with great pleasure that I'm able to introduce someone to you who is so important to today's global issues. Ronan Farrow is the Special Advisor to Secretary Clinton on global youth issues. And that means that he is responsible for advising the Secretary on youth issues for Algeria specifically. So this is a great opportunity for him to come face to face with Algerian youth and to talk to you about youth challenges in your country and to get some ideas from you about what you think would work in your country. So again, a great opportunity. I just want to give you some points about his bio, as you can see. I'll just read some points that I think are extremely stellar. He is a great example of a youth leader, a pioneer, an innovator, an entrepreneur, and someone who really knows how to lead other youth along the way. So as mentioned, he's the special advisor for the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. He is a lawyer and a former human rights advocate and journalist. He assumed his current role following 2 years as the State Department's Special Advisor for Humanitarian and NGO Affairs and the Office of Special Representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan. Prior to joining the State Department, he served as a spokesperson for youth at UNICEF, working with groups on AIDS epidemic in Nigeria, on post-war reconstruction efforts in Angola, and the Darfur region of Sudan. He's written many publications on human rights issues, including the Los Angeles Times, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, the Wall Street Journal, the International Herald Tribune. He has lots of experience on the Darfur movement, the student movement. He toured the country speaking at universities in Sudan, representing the U.S. State Department's efforts on genocide intervention. In 2008, he was awarded Refugees International Humanitarian Award for extraordinary service to refugees and displaced people. In 2009, he was named by New York Magazine as their new Activist of the Year, and he was included on a list of individuals on the verge of changing the world. I think, also pick up on Google that he was named in the New York Magazine the top 10 under 30 to change the world. So I wanted to add that to this bio. He's a graduate of the Yale Law School and member of the New York Bar Association. And during his time at Yale, he did actually practice law. He served as legal counsel for the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee, working on international human rights issues. And so now, without further ado, I proudly introduce to you Ronan Farrow.
Thanks, Tashana. I want to keep this really informal. I had hoped actually that we'd be able to have sort of a roundtable setting. So, maybe what I'll do is I'll give a really quick explanation of what I'm doing here in Algeria, and how we can hopefully make my time here and the ongoing engagement that the embassy is doing with young people as effective as possible from your perspective. I especially wanted to get your feedback because all of you are our constituents. You're the people who have availed yourselves of the Information Resource Center. You're the people who know what that can offer and how it can be effective, but probably also have a sense of how we can do more and better. As you know, we closed our American Center at a certain point, and that was something that we had hoped to rejuvenate and to reinstate some of the services that offered. Therefore, it's exciting to connect with all of you about how we can make some of the current platforms as effective as possible. And that's not just the Information Resource Center. That's a range of initiatives that are targeted directly at reaching out to young people. So let me take a step back and describe to you how this fits with what we're seeing around the world and what the United States is doing around the world. I just got back from Tunisia, where yesterday the Secretary of State Hillary Clinton launched a global focus on young people, as the United States never has focused on young people before. We have always historically had programs that educate, that provide information and resources to young people, that try to empower young people in their communities. But never before have we had a focused top-down policy where the United States has gotten to the world, as the Secretary of State did yesterday, and said clearly and loudly, this is a priority for us. For too long, young people have not been at the table. And we understand that if we're going to confront all of our 21st century challenges, young people have to be at the heart of doing that. That's why the initiatives that the embassy is involved in and the services that the Information Resource Center offers are so important. As I mentioned, that's just the beginning of the platforms that we're trying to put in place to connect with young people. While I've been here, we have launched a new American Educational Opportunity Drive. That's something that the center will be featuring more information about, but we've made it our public commitment to double in the coming year the number of young people from Algeria that come to the United States to study, to observe how the private sector and the business world operate, and then hopefully to harness those tools when they come back into their communities and fuel further innovation, economic progress, and prosperity. So this is a very important goal for us. We also want, as we undertake that initiative and others, to make sure that young people are at the core of our decision making and are shaping all of those initiatives. So we're not delivering services to all of you as passive recipients. We're bringing Algerians into the fold and having them design a lot of these initiatives, tell us what we're doing right, but as I said, also what we could do better. To that end, today I actually launched our inaugural session of our Council of Local Youth Advisors that we have formed here at this embassy. And that group of extraordinary young people, they're entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, student leaders, and activists, will be advising the United States on its policies in the region and in this country. They'll be telling us how we can make our programs most effective. And they'll be working with us to make sure that institutions like the center that you've all been involved in can be as strong as possible in coming years to make sure that our partnership with the people of Algeria, and particularly the young people, is as deep and strong as our relationship with the government of Algeria. And as you know, we are known for coordinating with the government of Algeria on a variety of important issues and interests in the region. However, we're at a turning point where we understand that without diminishing the importance of that relationship, which continues to be close and strong, we also need to partner with and hear the voices of the people. That's something that the State Department has undertaken as a top priority everywhere. We actually underwent a very fundamental reorganization of how we do business to create structures that reach out directly to people. I won't give you a description of all of those, but I will say that as we undertake that shift in focus, young people have been at the very heart of it. And all of the initiatives that I described here today are manifestations of that. So I think this is just the beginning. The initiatives that are coming out of some of those platforms, like the Youth Council, look to be very exciting. I had that conversation today with our local young people who will be advising us, and we were talking about strengthening entrepreneurship fostering programs that we've already engaged in, like Tech Women, a program you might be familiar with that linked young Algerian women to business mentors in the United States. We're going to expand that to Tech Girls, where we're accessing a still younger group of female entrepreneurs. One initiative that we discussed with them is a set of initiatives that will bring young people over to spend summer learning what it's like at private sector institutions like Coca-Cola. So we want to continue to fuel the progress on those initiatives, and we want to make sure that we're using the center as effectively as possible to get word out about those, to get all of you involved, and to make sure that we're energizing communities here to carry forward the message that we're offering services and tools, yes, and that we're close partners with the Algerian people, but also that it's the responsibility of all Algerians to take advantage of those tools and pay them forward in their communities. And the stories I've already heard here in my brief time here give me tremendous hope and inspire me, because I've seen examples of young Algerians who are doing just that, building their own solutions. We were in our session earlier today with a young woman named Majda who saw a lack of educational opportunity in her hometown. So she went out and built an online portal that provides supplemental educational materials in addition to what the local high school curriculum was offering. We've worked with a young man named Shmail who went out and built the first platform for SMS-based marketing in Algeria. So that's the kind of innovative, creative thinking that we feel is needed to drive a future prosperous and stable Algeria, especially at this critical transition point as you guys gear up for your election. Hey, how about first you and then right behind you?
Well, you can start with him first.
Okay. In the back. All right, let's start in the middle. You're in the hot seat.
I'm asking about give us more details about the American Center launching. The American Center you spoke about. I need to have more details about
Yes.
the American Center you spoke about.
Well, the center I'm referring to is the Information Resource Center, which is a core part of our embassy's activities, and it offers educational opportunities. It offers a gathering place where we convene local civil society. It offers a hub where when we bring in outside speakers to educate and to hopefully provide links to private sector actors that can help young Algerians start up their own initiatives, that is the place where they come to. So that's right here at the embassy. It's actually right across the way. I was just seeing some of the tools that it can offer, and I'm very impressed with it. In my office in Washington, D.C., which, as Tashana mentioned, is our office focused on youth issues around the world, is very closely engaged with the team here to make sure that that platform of the Information Resource Center is linked up to these other initiatives I described, our Council of Local Youth Advisors, our entrepreneurship fostering programs, so that it's as strong a possible gathering place for all of you when you want to interface with the United States Embassy. I think, did we have a question behind you, or?
Well, you just want to refer to her.
Oh, okay, great.
But before it used, this American Cultural Center used to be outside the embassy.
That's right. That's what I was referring to. And we were all very disappointed, obviously, that the way history went, that could no longer be outside the embassy. And that's one reason why it's so exciting to be here, launching some of these new initiatives that bring back some of the strength of that initiative and even take it further in terms of bringing local young people to the table. Yeah, we hope you'll stay engaged as we do that. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, first off, it's an honor to talk to you. I think I tweeted you before you came.
Awesome. I love to hear that.
Yeah, and the thing about it is you actually provide inspiration to the Algerians here, including me as well, being a Yale graduate as well. The thing about it is I've been in Algeria and I realized a couple problems that the youth actually can work on, such as lack of housing, lack of jobs, and what I want to ask you is, what do you think we should do to have the proper steps to advance, gathering the youth, because I think we have a strong Algerian youth here, and we're all willing to work together to actually make a change in Algeria, political-wise, making it better, maybe the problem with housing and jobs and education, we want more. So what do you think, your aspects on how to make actually Algeria better, for the young people?
Yeah. Well, the reality is there is no one simple answer to that question, as you know. I think that I would say a couple of things. One is for people like yourself that have the opportunity to gather tools outside of Algeria and increase your ability to engage with the private sector, with government, to make your voices heard. It's really important when those people then come back to Algeria, come back to their home country, and invest in building lasting institutions in their communities. Those are the stories that inspire me, because it is so easy to have what's described as brain drain, where people get the opportunities, they leave, and they don't come back. And all around the world, I see young people who have the tools, have the opportunities, and then return to their communities to pay it forward. So one of the things that we were talking about, for instance, with our new Council of Youth Advisors here, was how do we ensure more of that happens? And even within U.S. programs,